here is the clock that fell down from the wall, and here's the clock that is fixed. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I got all the things needed to cut the glass, and I wasn't sure if it would work. And these are my first attempts. I was really happy when it did work out as I planned. The idea was to create many little pieces and stick them on the clock. Here are the first little glass pieces mirror that went on symmetrically following the shape. I thought it's going to follow this kind of pattern throughout, but as it turns out, it's very hard to cut squares, so I end up with this organically tightly placed pieces. And to make it safe, I covered it with resin that hardens with UV light, just so that when you put the clock on, you wouldn't cut yourself. And even if it does fall, hopefully it's not going to come into pieces. Here I am in my second round of cutting. I feel a bit more professional, less excited, because it does take a lot of time to prepare the pieces in these tiny little squares and rhombuses and triangles. I ended up using a glue gun to cut them on, and my brother scared me with the idea that the glass could be inhaled, so I decided to start wearing a mask just in case. Part of him was right. It took me about 6 months to finally complete this project. Here the clock was nearing to an end, and I was appreciating the little sun bunnies that were being made from the reflection of the sun. The clock did fall, and I had to fill out these gaps in it with a cardboard and spray painted black, and hope for the best that the glass would stick over and wouldn't fall through. And here is the last little bit of a hole that would complete the clock and the excruciatingly long project that I embarked upon. It originally was supposed to be a birthday present, but then somebody told me that when you give someone a clock for their birthday, it's really a countdown until they pass on to the next world. And I was terribly happy to finish it, but there's of course the last excruciating step of covering it with epoxy resin, and there was a lot of waiting time in between because the sun wasn't particularly strong on that day. Thank God for music and coffee to keep me going. The best step of all, removing all protection